All right, welcome back, Prospect Live viewers. We're back with another 2021 MLB Draft interview. In the hot seat today is one of my favorite players in the draft, Ryan Spikes. Ryan, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, man. Thank you for having me.
Ryan, Ralph isn't the only one, man. You're one of the favorites over at Prospects Live. We love the game. Frankly, I don't think you got enough love this summer. I kind of want to just talk about this summer. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about all the different stops that you had at every different showcase and how you thought you performed?
Okay, the summer started off with PG National just coming out of quarantine. Just coming out, seeing a lot of top arms, a lot of top players in the nation, just getting out there and getting after it. Actually didn't perform, up to par, up as good as I wanted to perform. But as the summer went on, things got smoother. The summer was great, even though COVID was around. And I feel like everybody handled it great. With perfect game, PBR, perfect game, East Coast Pro, area code. I feel like everybody's handled it well. It was a great summer all around. Happy it got to happen actually.
Yeah, sure. And I want to sort of follow up on that a little bit because, you said, COVID, and obviously you guys were impacted by that shutdown as much as probably any draft class because the most important months sort of leading up to the summer and especially the early events like a PG National or whatever, you're probably a little rusty, I would imagine. So How did you try to sort of stay sharp going into those events and what sort of things were you doing in that, we'll say like early spring period when things across the country were shut down?
Down in Georgia, as soon as quarantine started, all the parks, all the fields were closed. So it was really hard to, get to a cage. I couldn't go to the school because the school was locked up. We weren't allowed to go to the cages. We weren't allowed to get on the field. It was actually a field down here near me, about 30 minutes out. I was actually able to get on the field, get some fielding work in, get some hitting in, got in the weight room in my garage and all that stuff. It kind of panned out pretty good. Not as good as I wanted to be, but had to make do with what you had.
Well, hey man, I thought you made a pretty loud impact, especially towards the end of the summer. Like you were talking, you really started to barrel up the baseball a little bit more, drive the ball into the gaps. For me personally, I thought you really took a big step over the final 2 months of the summer. I want to know what you're looking to do, how you're looking to grow moving into next spring, next summer as your first draft eligibility comes up.
I'm really trying to just stay consistent, keep the same mindset, just stay hungry, stay humble, just keep putting in the work, try to end it off with a bang, because like you said, the beginning of summer, it started off kind of slow, but at the end I started picking it up, started getting locked in, things start working for me. So I really just want to, end off on a good note, just keep playing, keep competing.
Yeah, and I think, I got to see you later on, I'll say in the season, it was, early fall. I saw you at, Fenway Park. And then I got to see you pitch sort of the following day. And I know that, everyone sort of views you as, moving forward as a position player. And I think for good reason, it's a very, you're an excellent bat. You're a strong defender. But I'm interested in just sort of how being able to pitch at that level sort of has impacted you in other areas of the game. Like, do you feel your experience as a pitcher allows you to sort of get into certain mentalities as a hitter? Because I feel like you're a really cerebral hitter at the plate. Like, you have a great approach. You sort of, you'll beat stuff off on the edges. You'll take stuff that maybe is borderline. So like you sort of have that confidence at the plate. And I sort of wonder if that's a little bit rooted in just, understanding the other side of the ball.
Being a pitcher, it kind of helps out as hitting too, because being a pitcher, you have to know the zone, you have to read the hitters, you actually in game, you're going to know the strike zone of the umpire. And that, really just helps out on the other side as well as hitting, because you'll know, like, in the mind of a hit, and in the mind of a pitcher, you'll know maybe what they'll throw. Maybe you'll know the zone better, especially if you pitch that game. And like, you just pretty much just, smooth things out to an extent, actually. It's pretty cool.
As much as you flashed on the mound, and I did think you had some pretty good moments on the mound, especially I want to say it was PG National. You were running it up there 91, 92, I want to say. It's a good arm, but I think a lot of people would agree the bat is pretty explosive, and it might be too much for some teams to pass up. I wanted to know, with your ability on the dirt and your ability in the box, where do you see yourself ending up long term? Do you see yourself as a shortstop, or do you see yourself as a utility guy that can run all over the diamond? Kind of where do you see your future home on the baseball field?
In my honest opinion, I see myself as a shortstop. That's the position I really love to play. But if that doesn't work out, I'd love to be a utility player. I love to play in outfield. Love to pitch. Love to play anywhere on the diamond. I just play the game to win, play the game to have fun and help the team. So, that's just something keep in the back of my pocket.
Yeah, and I think because of some of the incredibly talented travel teams that you played on as well, you played alongside some guys who were incredibly talented shortstops, and this is a loaded class. So I think that certainly impacted as well. And I remember having some conversations with people sort of in the background about whether you were a shortstop or a second baseman. And I think that some people don't know that like your team was so loaded with shortstops that was like they could have had 3 or 4 different guys playing the 6 on any given day. So what was it like? I think, does that sort of humble you a little bit, or just sort of change your mentality just in terms of, the team element of the game when you have to play along that many talented guys?
Yeah, like you said, like on Team Elite, we had like 4 or 5 shortstops that were primary shortstops. So like we just naturally just rotated around the infield. One day you play third base, one day you play second base, one day you play shortstop. So really just puts you in a mindset of just playing for the teams, playing to win, because everybody at the end of the day wants to win. But then again, everybody wants to play shortstop as well. But that's just something that you just have to have chemistry on. Just have trust your teammates to be able to play anywhere they want to on the field.
I want to talk about the state of Georgia just as a whole. Georgia's always loaded, but this year specifically, Georgia is loaded. I mean, your high school class is huge in the state of Georgia, and honestly, particularly up the middle at shortstop at your position. So I wanted to ask 2 questions, and let me start with the first, and then Ralph, I'll jump into a second one. What's it like playing in a state where you're constantly being competing and being compared with Michael Braswell and with Brady House, and what's that like? And I guess the second part of that is, have you been playing with those guys in travel ball since you were 10, 11, 12 years old?
Dude, honestly, it's electric. Like just playing around these guys and playing near these guys, even at a high school level. We play these guys in high school. That just makes the high school games more exciting, because on both sides of the field you have draft prospects, you have college D1 athletes. It's an amazing thing. It just makes the high school game just that much more interesting, that much more fun. And I played with Brady since we were at 14. I played with Michael Braswell since we were like 14. Me and Michael, we've known each other for years, since we were like 10, 11 years old, because we always played like against each other and with each other. So that's just something that's pretty cool. Just knowing these guys and watching them, move up the ladder and all that stuff.
Have you developed friendships with those guys over all these years?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. My second question is the similarities between you and Brady. I mean, the thing is, as you probably know, Brady gets so much press. He gets so much news. But you guys both come out of Georgia. You're the same age. You both commit to Tennessee. Kind of what's it like just following in each other's footsteps and knowing Tennessee Volunteers, you guys might be at that next stage together?
Dude, it's pretty cool. Just playing alongside Brady, both of us being committed to Tennessee, it's fun. Like, we developed a friendship. We're close friends. We hang out. Like, we don't really hang out outside of baseball, but when we get to the baseball field, it's just all laughs and all talk. We on the field competing, playing with each other. It's all fun. And knowing that we could potentially play at Tennessee together, that's even better. Like, that's just gonna build a better bond at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to transition a little bit here, and I guess it's sort of in the same vein, but who is, I guess, other than Brady House, right? Because that's too easy of an answer potentially. But who's the best guy that you've played against or with over the course of the summer? Is there somebody who, like, every time you see him, you're just absolutely wowed by some of the things they can do in the field?
This would be a pitcher aspect for me. Carter Holton. That guy's electric, man. That guy.
Man. We get that answer, man, every time.
You're number 6.
Dude, he's
legit.
A dog. He's a dog. Every single time he gets on the mound, you're like, wow, this dude this dude is lights out every time he gets on the mound. Like it's like no off switch for him. This dude's
Okay.
crazy, bro.
What? So the follow up of that is because we talked to Carter. We interviewed him a couple weeks back. Quiet kid, really reserved. Seems like he's all business, but when you get to know him, Ryan, I'm sure he's another Georgia boy.
Yeah.
What's Carter like on the field, off the field? Kind of what makes him so polarizing?
Like you said, he's just kind of quiet to himself. He's a really chill guy. Once you get to know him, he's crack his jokes. Just playing around the field. Everybody cracks jokes, but yeah. Once you get to know him, he's just pretty chill guy.
So
Not talk that much.
Nothing specific about the personality that draws all these rave reviews. He's just that nasty.
He's just that nasty, bro. Like, and he's not cocky about it either. He's just another guy. He's down to earth. He's chill about it.
I'll say I'll sort of switch it up a little bit. So from the hitter side, like position player, other than guys that were on, like Team Elite, who impressed you? Was there anyone that sort of stuck out where you were like, damn, like whoever this shortstop is, outfielder, whatever it might be?
I would say, my boy Cody Schreier out of California. He played for Canes National this past summer. That dude's a dog, man. We played on the Team USA 15 national team together a couple years back, man. That guy's a dog. That guy can rake for days, man. And he can pick it in the infield. And he's a pretty chill guy. So that guy.
Love hearing a new name. We like Cody over here for sure. West Coast, I'm Seattle. Ryan, I wanted to ask, being a guy of your stature, you're not 6'4", you're not as they build them, as you'd say. Is there a guy that you kind of model your game after on the infield or model your game after in the box? Someone that just you kind of like to compare yourself to?
I'll say Ozzie Albies. Ozzie Albies, he's a small guy. Has a little bit of pop in the box, fast, can pick it in the infield. The dude can do it all. Like, dude smooth as heck in the infield, can swing it fast. Like, actually plays the same position as me. Actually, dude's pretty cool. I also model myself after Mookie Betts too. He's like 5'9", 5'10", but he plays outfield as well. He can also come in the infield as well too. So that's something we can relate to, and he can swing it. Dude's a great dude off the field. Dude's a great dude on the field. Plays the game hard all the time, day in and day out. And that's just something I admire. Just play the game the right way.
Yeah, and he's right. And I think, you have some similar characteristics in terms of, how you set up at the plate, that same pull side power that I've seen you sort of generate. I think I've seen you put some off the monster as well when you were at Fenway Park. And I wanted to ask you about that. I know it was a cool experience for me just because I wasn't able to get out to, the tons of games I'm usually getting out to in a given summer. But it was awesome to sort of get there just for like a prep event, and it wasn't packed and all that sort of thing. So what was it like to have that experience with like future stars, get out there and actually get to play, New Hampshire as well, but certainly Fenway Park, which is just like a legendary place, just in the sports world, right?
Dude, it was crazy. Once you get out there, you really like, wow, I'm at Fenway Park. Like, I'm really standing in Fenway Park. And when you actually get out there to take BP, take ground balls, you're like, wow, like, this is amazing. I'm on the same field as major league players, like, in one of the most historic fields in all of baseball. It's really just a surreal feeling, just nonetheless.
Well, I've only got one more question for you, and then I'll throw it over to Ralph, or we can change it up, kind of get off the baseball stance. How much do you employ tech? Because you go to these showcases, you get diamond kinetic readings, you get blast motion readings, you get on the TrackMan, the Rapsodo. Is that something that you try to incorporate in your game outside of, when they kind of have you hooked up and testing?
Not really, to be honest with you. I'm really kind of like an old school guy, just hit it hard and run. I'm not really in them analytics. I might hook myself up occasionally, at my hitting spot. I might do blast motion or like hook up the TrackMan maybe. But I'm not really that analytical guy.
I respect that.
Yeah, no, seems like you got to have a balance of the two for sure. And a lot of talk about, feel. You got to have it to begin with. But all right, Joe, should we throw out one of these random questions?
Yeah, man, I'll throw it to you. You throw out a good one. You've been doing
We
you've
haven't
been doing a hell
gone
of
to
a
this
job with
one.
that one.
We haven't gone to this one in a while, and he's got the Miami strip club lighting in the back. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with a Pitbull question. So you can either there's two options. All right, you either have one song, but it's sung by every artist. Okay, or you have every song that's ever been written, but it's only sung by Pitbull. You have one or the other. So you can have every song, but only sung by Pitbull, or one particular song, and every group in the world gets to do a different rendition of it.
Pitbull by Pitbull.
Yeah.
I don't really listen to Pitbull like that.
That is the correct answer. That's the right answer. Nobody
I
has
don't-
given us that answer, and Ryan, that's the right answer.
It is.
I
That's
don't-
the right answer. That's exactly what we wanted you to say.
I honestly don't really listen to Pitbull like that, so I really can't
Benny
answer that
likes
question.
Pitbull. Benny Montgomery likes Pitbull.
Really?
Benny does. Benny likes Pitbull. So does Ian Mahler. They both really like Pitbull, and it. I don't get it.
Man.
Hey, I don't know, dude.
All right. Well, hey,
That's
to
a
be
tough question for me,
totally fair to you, Ryan, there's not a right answer. Actually, the
There's not a
closest
right
to a right answer is I don't listen to Pitbull.
Yeah, like
So you knocked it out of the park there, man.
that's tough. answer for me.
Absolutely. But Ryan, thank you for coming on the show. We had a blast here. Good luck. We're going to be rooting for you, on draft day, or if you end up going to Tennessee as well with Brady and winning a national championship, whatever it might be. Best of luck to you throughout the rest of the season.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I had a blast. Thank you.